We live? I think we are. Hello, hello, hello. Hey guys, what is up? This is Livy Igwe coming live from London. If you guys are watching me on a replay, drop me a hashtag style. Y'all know the drill. I help the multicultural, multi-ethnic to brand on social media. So if that is you and you feel that you're living to paycheck, you're looking for an extra income and monetize from your phone, absolutely. Drop hashtag hybrid. Happy November to all of y'all. October was a blink. We're going to be in December very soon, singing Christmas carols with what's her name, Mariah Carey. I don't think I'm really ready for this. Hey Jojo, hey, so how are you? So today I want to talk about, and it's going to be a little bit aggressive, but I just because of the title, and this is from Layla Homozy. So if you guys know Layla Homozy, she's a entrepreneur, very business mindset businesswoman. And she says, fuck the feelings, follow the plan, right? And happy November, my love. And I want to talk about this because I think it could apply in your business some way, shape, or form. I only have a couple of minutes, so I won't be staying too long. But I want to go over the fact that feelings is just here to hold you on anything that you're feeling. So, for example, the feeling of, going on a date, and the person takes you out, or the feeling of, procrastination that when you're supposed to do something and you're not doing it and it stops you, right? Or when you're supposed to go out and you're late. Like we all have feelings every single day. We all go through like emotions that just either flow with us or sometimes stop us, and so we have to override it. And she generally says, like, if you don't feel like doing it, you gotta fuck the feelings and follow the plan. And I had this morning this thing where I came back super late and I could have not gone to work out, right? But as I heard the alarm clock at 5 in the morning, which was like really spicy, I had to, in that moment, figure out and say, hey, will I choose to become the issue of my problem? Some of you will be like, yeah, but that's easy for you, Olivia. Like, you find the inner strength. I didn't have the inner strength this morning. I didn't. But what I did tell myself is I gave myself the option is if I don't follow this, what is the option? And if being a repetitive failure is something that I really aspire to, I had to get out of bed, right? So there's three things that I want you guys to do. There's the plan, the joy, and then the gratitude for the showing up, right? So the plan is you lay it out. How many times are you wanting to work out? How many times are you wanting to show up? How much money you're supposed to save for XYZ, right? Or whatever it is. Plan it out. Small bites of doing something can get you much further than if they're not laid out, right? And I think sometimes we get so overwhelmed with the fact that, oh yeah, but like I want to be there or I want to be here, but like you still have different steps to get to the other side. And you can only get them if, you do like a child, you have the coins and then you put the money on the side, right? For some of y'all, it's like getting the drink. Well, then put the money aside and figure it out, right? Or it could be, you have a project to do, but you love doing it at the last minute. It's like, no, why don't you just lay it out and say, okay, can I do this today? Like, can I take some space out for like 2 hours or 20 minutes, right? 20 minutes of just going back to back to back to back. Can I let out like the messages or whatever that you have to do, right? And then going through, okay, can I do 10? Once I've done 10, give myself a high five, we go to the next 10, right? Because the more you do that, the less resistance there is. And because as you're not letting your feelings override it, like I did this morning, now my workout wasn't as heavy as I told Dan, my workout wasn't heavy at all, but it was better than me not showing up. And so when you shift it like that, automatically it changes. And as I woke up in the morning on my way to CrossFit, I found the joy because I could have been, oh, I'm so tired. I can't do this anymore. Like, why am I here? But I decided like to find the joy. So the joy in like, oh man, like I didn't see those leaves like that. Or I was listening to like music and I'm like, I haven't heard this kind of music. And it was really pumping and it was really joyous. And it was really like, I can find joy because your brain doesn't know the difference. Hello, Magda. Your brain doesn't know if it's happy or sad. It can't have two different reasons in the same. You can either be happy or you can either be sad. Which one would you choose? Which one would you rather go with? I much rather go with the joy, right? Now, as we're in November, thanks, love. As we're in November, I want you to understand that I know with manifestation and stuff, like you can attract, but sometimes I'll override and I'll do like mini stories in my mind of like situations that have come out, right? When they're not even there yet. But I'll be smiling and I'll be like, yeah, that's just what happened. And I literally, as I came home today, I was smiling to myself because there was a situation that's going to be happening. And I just got so excited. Because the more you get excited about the things that you're like, nah, I don't really like that. But you get excited about that, automatically it shifts, automatically it changes, right? And I know it's like, yeah, but you don't know my situation, girl. If you knew what I was going through, nah, everybody's situation is very different, okay? But there's some things you might as well just laugh about it, right? Or just live in like this endless scenario that the man has swept you from your feet and has decided, whatever, like live in the delusion. Like I'm the first one to say, like, live in delusion. Now, of course, you got to put it in action, right? You can't like wish your way into getting abs and you're not going to CrossFit, you're not working out. Okay. Like you got to put a bit of effort, right? But everyone is different. Exactly. I love listening to like, so there's this music that I don't know if you guys have heard, the music that I put in my stories. There's this new guy that I just found out, Alexander Nate, and he says, "Dance with me." This song has been rent free in my mind. Just follow the thing. I'll probably put you can follow the song and then add it to your playlist. I have been living in this rent free music all day. Yeah, like living a delusion. Hey, Makisha, right? Because I get so excited about and I'm very visual. So I love visual things and I love feeling. Now, some people are very like they need to physically like see it, etc. But this last month of October, I've done more of being in the joy of things that I'm in right now. It may not be there yet, but it's coming. How? Because I follow the plan and I leave the feelings. Okay, yeah, I'm supposed to have these three hard conversations with like three people that I'm looking up to. And I'm like, I don't know if like they'll want me in the business or whatever. But I'm like, you know what? No, 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 no. Let me just bring the joy and say, look, I think it would be awesome for you. But if it's not, that's absolutely fine. And automatically it shifts the whole thing. Cause I'm like, I know what I have to offer. And sometimes I tend to think like, we have great things in us as women. Men can like override it. I don't know how they do it. As us women, we're just so empathetic. Like I need to feel the energy. I need to, feel that I'm aligned. I can't send a message if my mood is low, but sometimes you just gotta fuck the feelings and follow the plan, right? Now there comes a certain like degree, when it's like it gets really, really hot in a room and sometimes it gets get really, really cold. Like you have to know when your best energy is. My best energy of going live is 12, right? It's noonish. Even though I have the energy in the morning, but noon is like my hot spot time. In the evening, like we're not really having a conversation. Like I have to hype myself up. And if I really do see value in the person, I'll hype myself up. But if not, I will roll into like just like rolling into a hermit, right? So I want you guys to, in those feelings, because my sister messaged me this morning and she's like, why are you up so early? Because she's back at work, dropped the kids off. And I think it was like 7 my time. Because I go to CrossFit. So I wake up at 5:30. I only had 3 hours of sleep last night. And then I'm a CrossFit was 6 to 7, right? And my sister's like, why are you up? I'm like, I was at the gym. Where'd you think I would be? And she's like, you're crazy. I'm like, I know. But sometimes you do things that don't make sense. But I got excited because I still showed up. Now, could I push harder? Yeah, of course, I could have. But am I going to win? No, not every day. Okay. So follow the plan, find the joy. And last thing that I will leave you with this is I want you in the midst of the feelings being annoying, being draining to you. I want you to find gratitude. And I know you're probably like, wow, like how can I find gratitude when I had like 5 people say no to my business or 5 people, naming it whatever, or 5 people reading my message but not getting back to me? Like the audacity of reading my message and not getting back to me. Like, how dare you? Right. But it's in the gratitude of saying, you know what? Maybe her child was running out naked and she couldn't reply to my message. And it's already been twice. Right. And so this third time wasn't an annoyance, but it's just the fact that it just maybe wasn't the right time. And so in the gratitude of finding like, well, I'm grateful she at least read my message. I'm grateful that, the person knows. Ciao, Maria. Hey, Cara. Right. I'm grateful in finding those things. And sometimes it's like, well, I don't know what to be grateful for. Girl, where were you for the wedding? I'm gonna have to voice note you. Anyways. I always know you on that one. But the gratitude of like, okay, I'm showing up, or the gratitude of I have breath. Do you know how many people have not had breath or can't move their body like you or don't have the energy and you're changing lives? Like I know Magda, we're in the same industry, but I got this message this morning of somebody saying, because I reached out to her, right? And she's actually in network marketing just like me, right? But since I didn't read the room, it's fine, doesn't matter what. Anyways, just message her. She's also in network marketing, right? And I was like, oh man, it would have been great. Like she wasn't, but whatever, it doesn't matter. But the gratitude in her voice noting me back for a message, love you, right? And just connecting and just talking. I'm so grateful that she didn't call me crazy on the end, right, of me messaging her. But I found gratitude in like, I'm still learning in the progress. I'm having fun at this, right? Because you want to have fun in the process. Yesterday I was at a wedding because Maria was talking about it. And I took my drink, right? You guys know I always have my drink, better energy, focus, concentration, mood, pre-workout, after workout, you can use it, whatever. If you've had like 2 hours of like 3 hours of sleep, the drink will help you out. Like I kid you not, for the 3 hours of sleep that I had. Oh, hey, my love, how are you? Anyways, so where's my point here? In the gratefulness of I was at the wedding and I brought my drink out and I talked about it like somebody was interested in what I was drinking, and it was a little bit different. Bearing in mind it's like it's a Bangladesh wedding, right? So like spices, heavy food, food coma, all of the above and beyond. So I just took my drink out and I just had it and I was like, yeah, this is me. And even in the midst of like, okay, I could have been more productive at doing something, but I promise, when you promise something to somebody that you say you're going to do, right? How are you, my Lushinu? Exactly. Me and photography. I have fun during the process of the shoot, regardless if it does not matter. And I could talk about photo shoots, like the amount of photo shoots that I've done where the photographer didn't show up or was late, or the model, we thought she was a certain size, but she was much bigger or much smaller, much thinner, right? Or, the makeup not going right or the hair not going right. Like you just roll with the punches. And sometimes in the midst of like the broken piece, that's when the beauty comes in. That's when you're like, wow, that's awesome. Like it comes out really, really nice. Right. I still remember. I'm gonna go into this and then I have to jump off. But I remember when when I went on a date about a couple of months ago, right? And I was supposed to be, or I'm always like on time or a little bit early. For some reason, this girl doesn't know for the first time of a date. Like, I don't know what to wear. Like, I've been with somebody for 7 years and now I'm with no one. And now I have to go back into the dating scene. Lord Jesus. Like, I don't know how y'all do it. Like going on different dates. I'm over it. I've done one. It's too much for me. I'm like, you gotta have tough skin in this game. I'm like, no. Anyways. So why am I telling this point of like this date? Oh yeah. Okay. Right. So as we have this date, the girl is late. I'm late because I decided instead of going to Tower Bridge Hill or wherever, I went to London Bridge, right? So instead of going to London Bridge, I went to Tower Hill. Anyways, I managed to be like 15 minutes late on the date. And I hate being late, right? I don't like you waiting for me. And plus, like, I'm in business, I'm always like on time. It's funny thing, you've never been on a date. Are you okay? I mean, that's it. You are young. Well, we can talk about dates. Anyways, not that I've had a panoply of stories, but whatever. Focus, Olivia. We're not going to go to that rabbit hole. So I was late on that date. And I was like, man, like you're not crushing it, Olivia. Like, what's going on? And so as I get to the thing, I message him and I say, look, I'm coming. Don't worry. I'm on my way, but I'm late. And he's like, yeah, no worries. Anyways, fast forward, it turns out the date was absolutely spectacular. It was perfect. And the thing was, like, he actually needed 15 minutes just by himself before the date because he was going through something in his business because he has a business. He's a business owner. And he had to go through something. So sometimes when you think that something is not right, it's like God's protection into like you actually being grateful for, yeah, I was kind of sweaty, but then I got a great picture of like the sunset in Tower Bridge or Tower Hill or wherever it is. And it actually worked out really, really well. I'm just saying. Sometimes in the gratitude of something not working out, the date could work out. The flow could work really, really. You don't know, but you've got to burn the feelings, right? Hey, Farina, ciao, my love. And you got to follow the plan. It's hard reaching out to people. I mean, it's hard. It's not hard. I find it exciting, right? To talk to people, but I find it exciting because if I can change somebody's life by a talk, by a conversation, by my product, by my business, automatically it shifts. Yes, it's difficult to want to go out on a date, but the guy just doesn't have the energy nor the space for it right now. But I would really want it. But it's okay because right now I can focus on my business. Right? It's difficult to put in the work in the gym and to be consistent, but if you were consistent like me in the next 6 months, by the way, weightlifting, if you guys want a good butt, do weightlifting. That's how I got my butt. My love, how are you? Right. Absolutely, Makisha. So I want you guys to, in the midst of fuck the feelings, excuse my French, burn it, burn the feelings, follow the plan. The reason why Layla says fuck the feelings is because she's a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more alpha, but it does resonate. Now in the US, they tend, like Makisha, you can probably tell me this or not, but in the US, they love saying like the fuck words and whatever, right? I'm just like, that's why I put like the asterix or whatever you call them, those stars, and then follow the plan. Because if you just do what you're supposed to do, automatically it shifts. It's not easy, but everything is challenge. Like Makisha, I don't know, you don't have kids, but Magda has kids. It's easy to grow, to build up boys, but at the same time, she wouldn't have the fulfillment that she'd have, right? So same thing. You wouldn't have you don't have kids, because you haven't been on a date, but like you wouldn't know the photography had you not been through it. Farina, you wouldn't know by having not 2 kids, by going through the first relationship that you went, which was pretty horrific, but at the same time, it brought you overcoming the fact of being, going through emotional and narcissistic abuse and stuff. Like you can shift it because like, I wouldn't be grateful for what I don't have. Right. And she knew, I know you have a child. So it would be the same thing. I wouldn't know the gift of God had I not had it. Now I'll tell you the same thing. Like even for me, like I wouldn't know, like I've been through 2 abortions, right? I wouldn't know the pain-ish of going through the abortion alone when the guy, when I told him I was going through, preferred to play football than to go through the whole process with me. You know what I mean? So sometimes like in the pain of that midst, you're like, okay, but I'm still grateful because today it has brought me a story that I can tell others. It has brought me into sharing something that I can give a value. And we all have value. We all have something to share to the world. The only difference is you've got to follow the plan, stick to it, be consistent. Hey, my love, be consistent with it. Add the joy, right? It's crazy to be joy. Like, why are you so happy? It's not that I'm happy, but I choose to like just be content in the moment and to give joy. And then after that, it's finding gratitude. I'm not saying it's going to be easy all the time. Absolutely not. But what I am saying is that if you can add more fuel, there's a boundary. It can kind of attack me. Network marketing is the best on the planet. You can't stop me about that. Like I know. Now, if it's not for you, that's on you. It's okay. But I'll just be joyous in a day where it's like crazy, like gray. Why don't you just be the sunlight for someone? Who could you be a sunlight for? Right? Me going live is probably not consistent. It's not like at some point, sometimes I'm like, why am I doing these lives? Like, will I do it like when I'm like 98? With my grandkids, I'm like, no teeth, no cats, those words. I'm gonna have teeth. Right? Like, am I gonna continue doing these? I don't know. But I know, like my generation of like kids and future kids and grandkids, like my nephew, he'll be able to Google Auntie Olivia Igwe and say, "That's Auntie. She promised what she can do, and if I believe in you, then you can do it, or something like that. Like if I can do it, you can do it." Great inspirational speaker today. Right? So yeah, I just thought of sprinkling you with a little bit of like goodness on that. And just maybe today, what is 1 thing or 2 things that you're like, okay, no, I got to do this. Like I got to stop procrastinating. I got to put in that order. I got to message that person. I've got to, shift my energy. I got to follow up. Like Fridays, I'm like my follow-up Fridays. Right. And I heard this from Daniel G, and he says like, it should be like a tab, like, where's my money? Where are my people? Who's got my money, right? And so automatically it shifts. I'm like, oh, follow-ups is not. It's actually kind of good. I'm like, who has my money, right? Because you're like, okay, I can shift that. Follow up Friday, not exciting, but who has my money? That's exciting, right? But I find like small things in that, right? So hopefully this resonates. And that's it. That's all I have. You guys know where to get the drinks. You guys know, all the other stuff. You guys can message me, whatever. Hopefully this did bring, who's got that bag? Absolutely. Very inspirational. Love that. Love that it resonates. And it's finding those things. It's tweaking and adapting. Like you're seeing somebody that's 4 years in the game of being consistent and finding what floats for me. My messaging to like Magda's her way of working in business is probably different from mine. Makisha is probably different from mine. So is different from mine, right? I like putting in a workout early in the morning because I just get it done. I like doing hard things. I can't work out in the evening. I'm just not as sharp. I'm not as like in it. So 1 in the morning, no, 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning. It's just what works for me. So yeah. Guys, I love you. I appreciate you. Remember to be you, do you. The world does not dictate who you are, but you dictate the world. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Fuck the feelings, follow the plan. Oh, did I not? If you're watching this, I do apologize. I didn't mean to burp, but well, now you know. If you're watching this on the YouTube, do message me and say, I heard you burp.